Okay, another question that I've received is how is the Jubilee explained in reference to the land and the calendar? We're going to go to the verses because there's something very interesting here. I think it's very interesting. Let me get rid of my face. The verses on Yovel and Shemitah are covered in Exodus 25:20 through 22, and I'll explain as I go along. And if you shall say, what shall we eat in the seventh year? Behold, we shall not sow, neither gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the sixth year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. And you shall sow the eighth year, and eat yet of the old fruit until the ninth year, until her fruits come in. You shall eat of the old store. Now, turning my picture back on for this time, because I need to speak to you a little bit, and I think it'll help to see my face. The grains were planted after the seventh month, and by the eighth month, you were planting late. And I take this from historical records that we have found in Tel Gezer. There was a tablet from a schoolboy before the first century that was found, a clay tablet, and he wrote a little school rhyme about agriculture on this tablet. And it was in the seventh month they planted the grains, in the eighth month they were late. So when we begin to look at the scripture, it says in the sixth month it'll bring forth fruit for 3 years. And I didn't put all the scriptures up here. It would be good if you would study the verses yourself and prove me. It also says we were to plant in the sixth year. It was a command. We were to plant in the sixth year. But in the seventh year, it was to be the Shemitah. And so that's what I have here. In 2023, I kept the Shemitah. Sighted Moon tried to get me on board with their Shemitah by giving me the books and talking to me about it, all these things. And I absolutely was adamant that because of Leviticus 25:20 through 22, that the land would tell me when Shemitah was. And in 2022, I remember I kept Shemitah in 2023, so this would have been the sixth year. In 2022, I began to notice that we were getting an increase on the land when we harvested that year. And that's what it says in the scripture. I began to know that the harvest from that planting in the sixth year, not the planting of the sixth year, because we plant in the fall and then we harvest in the spring. Okay, so what we harvested in the spring would have been, I'm speaking theoretically, and I'm speaking of the wild barley, what we would have harvested in the spring in the sixth year was abundant, and I'll get into why. But we were still to plant at the end of the sixth year towards the seventh year, but we couldn't harvest in the end of this, in the beginning of the, I'm sorry, but we couldn't harvest in the seventh month the barley that was planted in the sixth month. We would have planted in the end of the sixth year towards the Shemitah. That was not harvested. The grains for the seventh year were not harvested. Neither could we plant in the end of the year. We couldn't plant in the end of the seventh year. It's still the Shemitah. So we had no harvest in the beginning of the eighth year from our planting. It was going to be at the end of the eighth year before planting into the earth the grains could happen. So 2025, theoretically, would have been the first year since 2022 that we could have eaten what we planted. So what ended up happening was that my sixth year was the rabbinical Shemitah. It was their seventh year, and they could not plant in that year. And so in my sixth year, all of their fields lay fallow. All those that observed their Shemitah couldn't plant. And the wild barley took over Israel. Literally, we had three times as much barley on the earth for the Shemitah as I would normally have seen. And it was an amazing thing, but it went beyond that. In the fields that were planted, because not everybody kept the Shemitah, the rabbinical Shemitah here, in the fields that were planted, Elohim put the wild barley in with the domestic wheat, and that grew head and shoulders taller than the domestic wheat. And many times when I would look at the domestic wheat field, I had a hard time discerning if it was domestic wheat or if it was a field of wild barley, because the wild barley was so thick and so tall above the domestic wheat fields. So when I tell you, in the sixth year, and I held my faith to the fire and knew that the scripture was true and had faith that the Father would show me. When I tell you that we had three times as much, it was absolutely amazing, and we had barley in places I have not had it since. Now, how does that play out with Yovel? Let's look. The sixth year, at the end of the year, we planted. The seventh year, it lay in the field. At the end of the seventh year, we didn't plant. Now, supposing that that was a Yovel, we didn't plant, so we're not harvesting. We're not harvesting for Yovel, just as the scripture commands. But at the end of the eighth year, we could plant, because in 2025, we could eat the crops again. So what I'm saying to you is the Yovel fits into the calendar very seamlessly. We don't miss a beat. It's almost as if Elohim had, well, it is, Elohim had provided for this from the beginning, that by the end of the eighth year, we could plant, but we're not eating it. That still satisfies Yovel. We will eat what we planted at the end of the eighth year and the ninth year. And that's what this scripture says right here. It says, and you will sow the eighth year and eat yet of the old fruit until the ninth year. Until her fruit comes in, you shall eat of the old store. Isn't that beautiful? It just fits perfectly. So besides this, I see both the Yovel and the Shemitah as a not only a rest for the land. Yes, it was definitely a rest for the land, but it was a rest for humanity. It was a rest for, I'm going to use a term that I'm taking from Genesis. It was a rest for the Adam. When the Adam fell, he had to start growing bread, and he had to grow it every year by the sweat of his brow. But in the Yovel and in the Shemitah, the Adam got to rest. The Adam got to remember what it was like before the fall, when Elohim provided the food he needed without his sweat equity in the earth. So for me, since the calendar began with the fall of Adam, this is how Yovel and Shemitah fit into the biblical understanding, is the understanding that we're getting a little taste of being back in the Garden of Eden when we didn't have to work to eat, when Elohim provided everything for us. There's another thing I should mention to you about Shemitah and Yovel. And I put a link at the top of the description box because I've taught this. But you should know we cannot keep Yovel and we cannot keep Shemitah. There were things in, for example, Shemitah. Unless you're prepared to release your brother from his debt, unless you're prepared to continue to offer your firstborn sons and the firstborn of your flock, unless you're prepared to finance your brother who is in debt in some foreign location and wants to come home, you can't keep Shemitah. Shemitah and Yovel were literally a time, as I spoke of leveling the playing field. It's where everybody came out of debt, everybody came home, and nobody had to work to eat. So I'm going to put that link in the description box. The link will be at the top of the description box, where you can watch that video I did a couple of years back on not only it's two parts. It's the land rest, and then it is the redemption of your brother. And they're not separate, they're together. If we can't fulfill every aspect of the requirements of Shemitah, what is written in Scripture, if we can't fulfill every aspect, if we fell in one point, we fell in the whole. And so I would be remiss if I answered your question. And since your newsletter said, or your email to me said that you believe we are to keep it, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you why I think scripturally we are not to keep it. And not only that we're not to, we simply cannot do it. We don't grow our own barley and wheat. This law was written to people who grew their own barley and wheat and their own seven species from their own land. It was much deeper than just refraining from eating from the earth, whatever grew in the year of Shemitah or Yovel. It was much deeper spiritually than that.